Hello.
Hello, hello.
I am so happy to have you here, obviously. Guys, this is my really, really great friend, Takira. I love her so much. So I'm super excited to finally, with her busy self, do an interview with Takira from Tiki Hut Nails.
Yes.
For those who may be discovering you for the first time, who is Takira and what inspired you to create Tiki Hut Nails?
I'll start with who is Takira. I'm a person that is very creative and has found an outlet for her creativity through nails. What kind of pushed me to start doing nails and doing what I love most is I wanted to do more complex designs with my nails. I was going to a nail tech for about 2 years. So I was a regular loyal client, and my nail tech at the time just couldn't do certain designs that I was wanting that were more outside of the box or, more difficult and challenging. And I tried to seek out other nail techs to see if they could do those designs. And I just got hit with, no, that's too hard. That's too complicated. I can't do that. So I was like, you know what? Let me do it myself. It seems easy enough. Let me do it myself. I indeed found out it's not that easy. It is actually very difficult, but I was willing to push myself to accomplish the designs that I want. So my goal always is to never say no to a complex design.
I love this.
Yeah.
People see the finished set, the bookings, and the brand. What is something about entrepreneurship that no one prepared you for?
I think there's a few things. In the beginning, I would say I wasn't prepared for how alone you might be in the belief of your vision and, pushing to get your business to where you want it to be. It's a lot of you being isolated and working on yourself, and even friends and family not fully seeing your vision yet and just being alone in that. Yeah, I think that's one thing I wasn't prepared for, and wearing so many hats and all the responsibility. Like, everyone loves to be their own boss, but with that comes a lot of weight and responsibility that's on your shoulders. Something that I do love, and I don't regret any decisions, but it's something that you kind of have to learn to balance and deal with, for sure.
Have you ever felt overwhelmed trying to be the nail technician, content creator, marketer, accountant, and CEO all at the same time? What did that look like for you in the season? I know you just mentioned that in your previous answer.
So to kind of deep dive into that a little bit more, I think that looked like to me was kind of experiencing burnout, wearing all of those hats, and thinking that it was only me that needed to wear the hats and not seeking out assistance from friends, family, other business owners to help me grow my business and to take a hat off my shoulders. So balancing that, reaching out to people, actually, relying on the community that I did build for myself.
What was one moment where you questioned whether you should keep going, and what made you push through?
I would say about 2 years into the business, I was still a mobile nail technician. I didn't have a home for my business. I was carrying a bunch of suitcases all around to each client's home, and that in itself was really draining. I knew that I couldn't expand my catalog of the colors that I had, charms, etc. So I felt like that was really debilitating, not being able to grow in the way that I wanted to. At the time, I wasn't turning a profit. I was only making enough to break even and pay for supplies. And I had friends and even my mom at the time question, is this worth it? You've been doing it for 2 years and, you're not really running a profit. You're not really making money. Should you be doing something else at this point? And I think that's when I really had to sit back and think, is this what I meant to do? It has been 2 years of my life where I've just been breaking a sweat, trying to get 1-2 few clients a week just for what exactly? And I remember when I first started my business, I told myself that when I started this was the one thing in life that I was going to be consistent in to the very end. So I'm like, regardless if I try and pick up another job or I'm in school or anything else, I will always stay consistent in this business because I do see it and I do believe that something can come out of it. So yeah, like that was one time when I really questioned, especially when you have the people closest to you kind of question your belief in what you're doing. So yeah.
And how many years in?
We are officially 4 years in. It was 4 years in March.
I've really seen you from the beginning until
yes,
now.
From the very day one. 7 hours for a set.
Literally, we'd be sitting in my house, and honestly, even then, I was in love with my nails. So I'm so happy that you've continued to be on this journey with yourself, and you didn't allow outside noise to stop you from pursuing your dream.
Yeah.
Social media often shows the highlights. What is a challenge you face behind the scenes that your audience may not know about?
I think I've kind of talked about burnout vocally on my platform, but another challenge from that, I guess, because I was overworking myself so hard, pouring everything I had into my business to get it to where it is now. One thing that I feel like at times I kind of missed out on is, the time that I could have spent with friends and family and really living in my youth. I feel like sometimes pouring into my business so much, there's a side of my life that I didn't pour into, especially in the beginning years. At this phase in my business, I'm learning to, expand on that and have a better work-life balance, but it's still a little bit challenging to figure that out.
You said in the beginning that one of the big things for you becoming a nail tech was to be able to dive into complex nail designs. Can you share with us, what are your favorite designs that you like to do? What is your favorite set that you've done?
My favorite designs to do, I don't even know why this one's always my favorite, but it's so near and deep to my heart. I love doing a 3D mouth. Something about the nice straight white teeth and making the lips look so realistic. That's one design that I've been obsessed with. I continuously recreate in a lot of my shoots. But I think that kind of goes into 3D art. So 3D art is something that I really, really love.
I love that. How do you see Tiki Hut Nails expanding in the future?
Without saying too much on that.
Without giving us too much tea, she said.
Without saying too much, I see Tiki Hut Nails as a community, as a place and a space where people feel loved and welcome and authentic. I always try and be my most authentic self and create art that allows my clients to express who they truly are on the inside and wear it on their nails. So I think just expanding those feelings on a greater scale.
And for the simple girlies like myself, I can't express how much she has pushed me to express the little tiny spurts of personality that I do have. I'm not always monotone, but even my nails, which I will be posting here, I'm in love with these. I really, truly love that you are able to push me out of my comfort zone when it comes to my nails. As a business owner, do you ever struggle with the pressure to constantly create content and market yourself? How do you navigate that without losing your passion for the craft itself?
Ooh, yes. Yes, I feel, you said overwhelmed by the pressure?
Yes.
Yes, I feel overwhelmed by the pressure. As we all know, content creators is a job title in itself. There's people that have full-time employment just creating content. So to be a content creator on top of, a nail tech and running the business and everything like that, trying to always produce stuff is really hard. It's also you get a little self-conscious because you're always putting your work out there to be judged and looked at. You know, is this good enough? Should I even book with her? Like, do I like what I see? So I think that can get really overwhelming. The ways that I found to deal with it is take a step back, take a break. As much as like you want to get stuff and content and everything out there, you want to put your best out there. And when you're not feeling your best, you're not necessarily putting your best out there. So take a break. Sometimes I do find when I do take a break and I'm not posting as consistently, that does affect my bookings. So a way how I helped that was source out other people to create the content for me to post, especially if it's just like little nail videos and stuff like that, something really easy someone else can do, and it takes a load off my plate.
You talked about burnout. Can you describe a season where business was growing and booming, but you personally felt exhausted or stretched thin? What did that teach you?
There's a few seasons. I would say right before I started post-secondary again, it was December, and I was working every single day, basically. Every single day. I was working on days off, I was working on Boxing Day, like every space time that I could fit a client in, I did. That was the time where I really seen what a busy season was, and I was like, I can't say no. I had that mentality from, you know, my beginner phase where you're like trying to accept every client that you get, and I just couldn't say no. And I kept that mentality going into the winter term of when I started school, which left me with only one day off during the week. And I thought that during December, after that, it would be a slow month. Everyone's not really getting their nails done and things would be slow. But I didn't experience a slow month. Things were, you know, booked out a week in advance continuously still, which I absolutely loved. Juggling working full-time and going to school full-time, that was really difficult. I kind of got a little bit sick. And once I got sick, that's when it hit me that something needs to change and I need to, you know, change or shift something in my life because I can't keep going like this. So I would say not until then is when I realized that my mental health and my physical health is what keeps the lights on, you know, at the end of the day. That's what will, you know, keep my business going for years to come. That's the drive. I'm the drive of this whole thing currently. So if I'm not okay, you know, mentally or physically, then my business won't be okay. And that's when I realized that I need to prioritize me personally, whether that's taking a day off to just bed rot and scroll and, you know, binge watch Netflix, or that's taking some time, you know, to go on a coffee date with my mom, or to hang out with some friends, or to go on a trip or something. Just taking time for myself and pouring into my self-care is what gave me the energy to keep going and to heal from all of that.
What has entrepreneurship taught you about yourself that you may never have learned otherwise?
Entrepreneurship has taught me so much about myself. I don't even know where I would be without, you know, starting my business. I feel like there's a lot of characteristics that I didn't see in myself until I started a business. I love being a leader, and sometimes naturally in certain roles, I take a leadership role. I didn't even realize how creative I was until I started my business, how confident I was. Entrepreneurship has taught me how to take constructive criticism. I feel like that was a big one for me. To hear almost negative things, obviously, but not take it to heart and not take it personally, to use that to strive for better. Entrepreneurship has taught me that failing doesn't have to hurt as much and doesn't have to be seen as failure, that it can be seen as a way to grow and as a stepping stone. There's so much more that I've personally learned from negative outcomes or fails that have happened and allowed me to grow in ways that I didn't even expect before.
How do you balance building a successful business while protecting your mental health, relationships, and personal life?
I think this is something that I'm still working on to this day, but what I do now is physically schedule out time like personal days. Sometimes in my schedule, I'm like, oh, I don't have a reason to take this day off, but I'm just going to take it off just to do nothing. Nothing work related, nothing to do with Tiki Hut Nails, the business, anything like that. And, fill it with whatever I need to fill my cup that day. That's something that I didn't really do in the past. And if I had free time, I would just put a client in there. But now I'm learning to replenish me and pour into my cup just as much as I pour into my business and my clients to keep going and to spend more time with friends and family. Having those days and making friends and family more of a priority is something that helps me and keeps me motivated, is being around community and the people that I love.
What does success mean to you today compared to when you first started Tiki Hut Nails?
Oh, when I first started Tiki Hut Nails, I just wanted clients, wanted to always fill my books. That is something that I still want, but I think what kind of clients and what type of clients that are filling my books is what's more important to me. I think I attract clients that are very respectful and, that bring to the table what I try to bring to the table, and regular clients. Having the same people come into your chair every month, whether that's once a year, once a month, having those regular people that come for you and having that community and support is something, that I see. And support in other ways too. In the beginning, I think that I thought supporting my business was just booking an appointment. Now I see support on a much bigger scale. That's the person that's telling their friends to get their nails done by me. That's someone reposting me. That's someone looking at someone being like, oh, you want your nails done? I know a girl. So just people promoting or helping me in any type of way, I think that's success.
What kind of legacy are you hoping to build through your work, both in the beauty industry and within your community?
I think that comes down to just what Tiki Hut Nails is at its core, a space to be expressive and authentic. That's continuously the legacy that I want to put forward, to allow people to be truly who they are through nail art, and just allow people to step out of their bubble and be creative and wear their personality on their sleeve and not be ashamed or scared of it. Like, yes, this is who I am, and I absolutely love that. And to always hold a space for no judgment on that, regardless of, who you are.
When the appointments are done, the content is posted, and the business is closed for the day, who is Takira beyond Tiki Hut Nails?
I'm going to be completely honest with this one. This is something that I've recently struggled with this year. I realized how much of myself I poured into my business. When I first started my business, obviously mobile nail tech, all my nail supplies were in my room. My entire life became my business, it was just all consuming. And I realized that I associated a lot of who I was with just being a nail artist and being the owner of Tiki Hut Nails. And now I'm trying to step out of that and realize, I am an individual person outside of this whole big, business that I did create for myself. So who I am is still what the business is. I do understand that. I am a creative person. I'm fun, I'm bubbly, I have attitude, I try and be my most authentic self. And I think that is just what I brought into the business and will be carried outside of it too.
What does aura mean to you?
I think aura is what someone's soul looks like. It's what radiates off of them. The energy that you feel when you're around that person. So I think that's what aura means to me.
Thank you so much for being on Wellness Without Apology by Club Sainté Aura.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.